Rastafari. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Ross John. Just want to conclude on part 2 here about the Ironbird. And sorry for the cut. There was time duration there that got cut. Now, this is an article about Serena Williams, who a few years ago had a blood clot or pulmonary artery which comes into the lungs. And it turned out that this came from flying a lot. And she couldn't play Wimbledon and was out of action for a while, and said that one of the diagnoses, she had been diagnosed with blood clots in her leg. One clot traveled to her lung, creating the embolism. More blood gathered on her stomach. The grapefruit she referred to, she called it the scariest moment in my life. She said she still had clots on her lungs, but expects them to dissolve. And here again, it goes back to the whole thing that these videos I've been doing here today about planes and long rides. Meanwhile, the top WTA players, Clijsters and Jelena Djokovic, wished Williams a speedy recovery and concluded that her absence diminished the woman's game. Clijsters also spoke of her concern that long plane flights can cause blood clots in lungs. The toughest part for us is flying all over. It's very scary. It's very serious. So again, the long flights, the long plane rides probably played a part in her health having the issues that it did. And I also know that Jesse Ventura had the same problems too, which caused his actual wrestling career to end. Now, I have flown a lot, and even at one time considered getting into the Air Force. But my advice for ones, I would say, if you fly, take herbal medicines, get up, stretch a lot, use the bathroom if you can, make sure everything is out of your system, and make sure that you have not a lot of fluids and stuff. You get that out, because sitting there will cause a lot of gas issues and could be hazardous. And always stretch a lot, get up around every hour, and take it from me, I've flown a lot, so I know a lot of these things. You sit, you get tired, you have to swallow a lot. Now here's an article from Culture, came out 8/19 a couple years ago. And this one here deals with frequent air travel as hidden health risk and social consequences. Now, most people, there's that saying, you fly to friendly skies, that whole United thing. Well, the skies aren't too friendly sometimes if you fly a lot. I suggest ones that try to fly every once, maybe twice a year if they can, or, every other year. The first of the three, and this is the consequences of frequent travel, the researchers say can be broken down into 3 categories: physiological, psychological, and emotional and social. The first of the 3 includes jet lag, which, believe me, from experience, I know, and it is not a pleasant thing sometimes, or the disruption of the body's circadian rhythms. Cited several studies, the researchers explain that jet lag can cause fatigue, which is true, tiredness. I believe a reggae artist, if I'm not mistaken, had brain hemorrhage or something because he felt bad fatigue from flying. I think he went from England to Israel, and then Israel to Africa, and he got sick. And gastrointestinal problems. It can also influence genes linked to aging and the immune system, increase the risk of the stroke or heart attack, which is true, because actually people have had strokes and heart attacks after flying a lot. And it is chronic perform as demonstrated by a study on cabin crew causes cognitive deficiencies like memory impairment. Because again, you're up in the air. And who's ever flown a lot can testify that you swallow a lot because of the pressure in the air. The air thinner, so you don't breathe heavily, you breathe heavier. And also, again, you're dehydrated, so you always have to drink because it's so high, and your body needs about 50% of fluid in it, but flying can cause a lot of it to lose. Travel also has a psychological and emotional impact. Stress can set in while preparing and making arrangements at home and work before trips. In addition, business trips are not usually associated with a reduced workload and can create extra stress about tasks accumulating while away. Meanwhile, flight delays can cause anxiety and fatigue, which is true. But my main concern is about how the whole thing about flying. Now, the thing with airplanes too is that if you notice, I don't know if ones have ever seen His Majesty when he flew all over the world, or seen how high planes used to fly back in the day, but they never flew as high as they do now. They always kind of went lower, and then they went up, and then they kind of, they took a while, and they didn't just go so high as they do now. But I would like to conclude with this, brothers and sisters. This is Max Romeo's Chase the Devil. It goes like this. This explains earlier when I did the verse on Isaiah 15. Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm going to chase you down to earth. Jaw casting the devil down to earth. I'm going to put on the iron shirt and chase Satan out of earth. I'm going to put on the iron shirt and chase the devil out of earth.